Hello and welcome back to WWE 2k20 Universe Mode, and we are here on the final SmackDown before Clash of Champions, and we are kicking things off with a bit of a teaser for our Intercontinental Championship match coming up at the pay-per-view Clash of Champions. But before we get started with the episode, I ask you please to make sure to leave a like on this episode and leave us a subscribe so you do not miss out on Clash of Champions. It is going to be unmissable, I promise you that much. So hit that subscribe button, it would mean a great deal to me. Thank you so much. But let's get to the action at hand. Matt Riddle is going to be teaming up with the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, Buddy Murphy. And of course, this all came about after Buddy managed to defeat the Messiah, Seth Rollins, his previous leader in the Church of Rollins. And now Murphy out on his own, managing to defeat his former leader, Seth Rollins, and getting this opportunity at the Intercontinental Champion. And here he is, the IC Champion himself, EC3. And while EC3 has done a very good job being champion so far, managing to defeat Braun Strowman, and we'll talk about more about Braun later and what he's been up to, but EC3 did manage to defeat Braun Strowman. He managed to defeat Bryan at SummerSlam. We're going as Clash Champions, going against this changed Buddy Murphy. This Buddy Murphy is now on a hot streak here in Universe Mode. Can he hold on to it? And of course, tonight he's teamed up with Bobby Lashley, a man who is looking to make his place here in Universe Mode. He is looking to prove that he is an all-dominant, almighty person here in Universe Mode, and who could use a victory, or, well, honestly, he could use a change. A change is what Bobby Lashley needs, an opportunity to prove himself here. But let's get this one going. Matt Riddle, Buddy Murphy versus EC3 and Bobby Lashley. Starting off with Matt Riddle and EC3. Riddle constantly been in that Intercontinental Championship scene since the beginning of Universe Mode, desperately trying to win that championship, getting screwed out of it against Chad Gable originally, and then things did not go well for Matt Riddle. He ends up not winning that championship, but he is still desperately seeking it, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him eventually get that championship. Of course, we did see him come up short against Buddy Murphy a couple of weeks back in a one-on-one contest, but those two do have respect for each other. They have a lot of respect for each other and what they're trying to accomplish here in Universe Mode. EC3, of course, he's been a very strong Intercontinental Champion, managing to end the title reign of Chad Gable after kind of betraying him. He was never really on Chad Gable's side, I guess. He was kind of... Chad Gable just wanted to believe that EC3 was his good supporter. Chad Gable wanted everyone to believe he was his good supporter. Wait a second, double super kick to the face of EC3. Very nice indeed. But EC3 turned on Chad Gable, decided he had enough of him. Ends up winning that championship for himself. Well, hasn't looked back since. Of course, the Clash Champions, Buddy Murphy and EC3, who will be able to pick up the big victory there. Two young guys looking to get another big victory here in Universe Mode, trying to continue to build their name, build a name for themselves here. And of course, the Intercontinental Championship, you got to think, being an IC champion, it really puts you in line for big things in the future. It definitely is a stepping stone to perhaps becoming the next Universal Champion. And while for Buddy Murphy, he is definitely looking in a good position, especially after beating the two-time former Universal Champion Seth Rollins last week. But we are getting a little preview of our match right now. EC3 and Buddy Murphy going at it on the outside. Lots of reversals here. Getting up to a 4 count though, needing to get back in the ring. Buddy throwing EC3 headfirst down to the mat. Up to a 6 count now. Big chop from Murphy into a huge kick. And throwing EC3 into that ring post. But Murphy needs to get back in the ring right now, unless he wants this to go to a count out. A double count out would not be the way they'd want this to go. But EC3 managing to get Murphy, throwing him back in the ring, but not getting back in the ring himself. 9 count right now, 9. Thankfully, EC3 manages to get himself back in the ring just in time, now pinning Buddy Murphy. 1. Just the 1 count there for EC3. You think that EC3 should probably try and get that tag to Bobby Lashley right now. And he's probably thinking that'd be a good idea. Hasn't tagged out at all in this one just yet. But I can't blame him for wanting to perhaps prove something here against his challenger for Clash of Champions. Make do as much damage as possible to Murphy right now. Wouldn't be a bad idea in the slightest. But later on in the show tonight, we will be seeing Shane McMahon is going to be here tonight. He's going to be making a decision about what's going on with this Universal Championship scene. Of course, we've seen over the last few weeks, Adam Cole got a big victory over Roman Reigns. And then out came Braun Strowman out of nowhere. Braun Strowman coming out and destroying both Roman and Adam Cole. And then last week, Tommaso Ciampa coming out to make his decision about the Universal Championship. Well, and not his decision, what had been decided for his championship match at Clash Champions. Wait a second, 1, 2. Only a 2 count there for EC3. Very close to getting the victory over Murphy just there. But as I was saying last week when Tommaso Ciampa came out to talk about who he'd be facing, oh my goodness, that's got to be it. EC3 has got to be able to pin Murphy right now. That has got to be it. 1, 2, but no, somehow Murphy still in this. Unbelievable there. Murphy managing to kick out of the finish of EC3. Now that is very surprising indeed and shows the strength that Murphy has. Only a 1 count there from that powerbomb into a pinning predicament for EC3. Oh, the running knee to the face. Right, so is Murphy going to pin the IC champion on his way to Clash of Champions? 1, 2. Only a 1 count there. But as I was saying quickly before the action gets back going in this one, Ciampa, he was supposed to be making his announcement last week about what the Universal Championship match was going to be for Clash of Champions, but again Braun Strowman came out, ruining things, attacking Tommaso Ciampa, hitting him through the barricades, through 2 barricades, and then chokeslamming him through the announce table, sending a message to the Universal Champion that he wants that championship match. He wants to face Tommaso Ciampa for that Universal Championship. But we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, Shane McMahon's in the house tonight. Boys saying Buddy Murphy. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, Buddy Murphy, he just pinned the Intercontinental Champion going in to their championship match at Clash of Champions. Buddy Murphy is on a tear right now. Unbelievable scenes here. Buddy Murphy managing to defeat EC3, the Intercontinental Champion. Well, if that doesn't say something going into this pay-per-view, then I don't know what does. EC3 not even going for a tag during that match, and they go reconfirmation of the Intercontinental Championship match, Murphy versus EC3. Murphy and Matt Riddle, these two got on very well tonight. You gotta say it was mainly Murphy though in the match. But we are moving on right now. Cesaro is back here for some more action here tonight. He has been trying to get himself on a roll here on SmackDown recently, trying to pick up as many victories as possible. And Cesaro is looking to continue that streak tonight as he goes up against Drew Gulak. But apparently accompanied by Chad Gable. Perhaps Drew Gulak is the first member of the Gable Academy. If you remember a few weeks back, Chad Gable issued a welcome to anyone to come and join the Gable Academy to be Chad Gable's second. And maybe Gulak has signed up for that. But he's got a tough challenge here tonight against Cesaro. But Chad Gable in his corner could make a big difference here in this one. But you can't forget about the strength of Cesaro. But Drew Gulak did manage to get some big reversals in this one. It was not all Cesaro. Drew did get a very even match here. It was very, very close. Cesaro got that sharpshooter on though. And it looked like it was all going to be over for Drew Gulak in this one. But he held on. He held on for as long as humanly possible in that sharpshooter. I don't know how on earth he hadn't tapped yet. He was in this sharpshooter for such a long time, but eventually managed to roll backwards and knock Cesaro out of the sharpshooter. And Drew Gulak managed to take advantage straight into a DDT onto Cesaro and got him into the Dragon Sleeper. It looked like Cesaro was going to be forced to tap. Cesaro being forced into a big loss here by Drew Gulak, but he managed to get out of it, rolling out and then a kick to the back of Gulak. And another sharpshooter, and you got to think this would have been it for Drew Gulak. The second sharpshooter, especially after how long he was in that first sharpshooter. Cesaro got to be hit here for a victory, and eventually Drew Gulak forced to tap out, but it was a very, very even performance between these two. Cesaro just managing to beat Drew Gulak, and maybe Chad Gable may not be too happy with his first applicant to the Gable Academy. We'll have to wait and see why that one is, but Gable right now looking up at Cesaro in the ring. Perhaps he's found someone else that he might want to try and get involved in the Gable Academy. But for tonight, Cesaro picking up another big win here on SmackDown. And now we are moving on to a #1 contenders match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. As we have said over the few past weeks, Toni Storm, the SmackDown Women's Champion, was given permission by Shane McMahon to choose her own opponent for Clash of Champions. And while Toni made it clear to the SmackDown Women's division that she was looking for people to impress her, and while Bayley and Sasha Banks, the two good friends, very close friends those two, they both managed to impress Toni Storm tonight, so the match was made. Sasha Banks having to go up against her friend Bayley here tonight, and whoever wins this match will be going forward to Clash of Champions to face off against the SmackDown Women's Champion Toni Storm. And that's going to be interesting how these guys work together, these good friends. Whether it's going to be very close to being a three count straight away for Sasha. Got to wonder whether these two are perhaps going to go easy on each other. But then again, it is a SmackDown Women's Championship opportunity on the line here. You got to think you want to be able to prove something here. You need to be able to prove yourself in this match. Prove that you're worthy of the opportunity. And getting that gold means you're going to have more money in your pocket. And that is definitely an important thing here. And not only that, you're going to have the respect and the credibility of being a champion here in Universe Mode. Sasha once again going for a roll-up on Bayley. 1, 2, only a 2 count there for Sasha. Sasha taking it to Bayley in the early offs here. But nothing too aggressive and out of line, just typical what you'd expect these two to do. Typical wrestling match, but they're not holding anything back. Sasha to the top. A huge arm drag there from the top rope onto Bayley. And Sasha taking advantage of her friend right now. You have to wonder whether Bayley perhaps was taken off guard by that early roll-up straight away in the match, and it has been the thing that has knocked her off her kilter. Sasha Banks, her first move was to roll up Bayley, getting that 2 count, and perhaps Bayley was not expecting that from her good friend Sasha Banks. She was expecting a bit more of a collar and elbow tie-up, a regular beginning. Sasha another roll-up of that huge meteora from the top rope onto Bayley. Sasha Banks really got Bayley off guard, it seems like. A second, Sasha suplex to Bayley. Bayley not going to move in quite a while at this point. Oh, just kicking to the gut. Wait a second, Sasha. Get a bit more aggressive with Bayley, it looks like. And now what is Sasha thinking here? Oh, very nice indeed from Sasha Banks. Is that enough to put away Bayley though? 1. Only a 1 count there for Sasha Banks. Bayley still in the middle of the ring. Really taken off guard, and I'm not surprised Sasha really hasn't let up in this one. She has been going at Bayley this entire time and not allowing Bayley to even catch her breath. Wait a second, Sasha. Oh, looking for that surfboard stretch there. My goodness. Working the back of Sasha. Bayley though dropping down in the pin, but Sasha kicking out straight away. But Sasha again not allowing Bayley, but Bayley, finally Bayley managing to get herself back into this. Realising that she needs to do something if she wants to get this SmackDown Women's Championship opportunity. You need to do something. I know it's your friend, but you have to do something, Bayley. Bayley managed to hit the Hurricane Rana, now throwing Sasha into the corner, but no urgency right now. Bayley taking her time. She walked over to hit that huge chop onto Sasha Banks. Sasha, though, reversing, taking advantage of Bayley's slowness in this. I really think that this friendship is affecting Bayley's decision-making in this match. Sasha Banks with no issue, just taking it to Bayley, and Bayley clearly not being overly happy with being in this position. Sasha Banks calling Bayley to her feet, and what is she thinking here? Once again, that twisting neck breaker to Bayley, and Sasha going for the pin once again. Is that going to be enough? 1, 2. Only a 2 count there for Sasha. Bayley not giving up though. Bayley not giving up in this match, even though she is struggling right now. She is not giving up to Sasha Banks so easily. But Sasha calling Bayley to her feet. What is she looking for here? Wait a second. Sasha Banks throwing Bayley into the ropes. I thought she was going to be going for that Banks statement, but instead trying to attack Bayley, with Bayley catching the ropes, pulling her down, making it so that Sasha goes flying over those top ropes. Now the referee going for his count. Of course, a count-out victory would still get you that #1 contendership in this one. And now Bayley taking it to Sasha Banks. But Sasha not allowing it. Sasha continuing to be on top in this one with Bayley. Finally, Bayley starting to pick up some speed, getting a big lariat onto Sasha Banks. And is Bayley going to be able to do something in this one? Again, far too slow. Really far too slow. Allowing Sasha to get back into this. Waiting on Bayley, big kick and a big knee from Sasha Banks. And there it is, the Banks statement from Sasha Banks. Is Bayley going to be forced to tap? No. She managed to get her back foot to the ropes. Managing to just stay in this. Elbow to the stomach of Sasha Banks. And Bayley now taking Banks down. But Banks kick to the face of Bayley. Sasha Banks roll up once again. Can she do it this time? 1, 2. Only a 2 count once again. Bayley still kicking out. And Sasha just staring at her friend before laying in a huge punch to her face. And now Bayley had enough, catching the leg, throwing Sasha Banks down, cooling Sasha Banks up to her feet. Sasha now crawling over to the ropes, crawling over to the corner, and Bayley now. Oh, a huge assisted drop kick there into the corner, a basement drop kick to Sasha Banks in the corner. But Sasha catching her again, another huge punch to the face of Bayley. Sasha holding nothing back in this one. You would not know that these two were friends. Sasha Banks, Banks same, but this time in the middle of the ring. Nowhere near the ropes for Bayley. Can Bayley still get out of it though? She's been able to get out of so much in this match so far, while not wanting to fight her best friend. Can she get out of this Banks statement, or has Sasha Banks got it in too tight? And yes, she does. Bayley forced to tap out in the middle of the ring. Sasha Banks will be moving forward to Clash of Champions to face off with Toni Storm, the SmackDown Women's Champion. My goodness. You got to think though, Bayley could have had that one won. She really could have. If Bayley had only forgotten that Sasha was her best friend, if she'd been able to put that behind her like Sasha did. Sasha took it to Bayley. Sasha had no issues taking it to Bayley, but Bayley, she could not deal with it. She was so slow to start with in this match. She didn't want to hurt her friend, and that is what cost her here tonight. Bayley just getting socked in the face, and there you go, there's the confirmation. Sasha Banks, Toni Storm, SmackDown Women's Championship at Clash of Champions. Sasha Banks celebrating his night, but Shane McMahon is in the building, and wait a second. Braun Strowman from behind attacking Shane McMahon. Shane just arrived. You can see his car just there. He just arrived in the building and Braun Strowman was waiting for him, hitting him with that chair. And what is Braun Strowman doing here to our general manager? Throwing him headfirst into that car. Goodness, this is not okay. Someone get security out here, or anyone to help Shane McMahon right now. Wait a second, what is Braun doing? What on earth is Braun Strowman thinking here? Come on, Braun, this is not okay. Wait a second, throwing Shane on top of that car. No, Braun. No, come on, no. Oh my goodness. A powerbomb onto the windscreen of the car, and Shane McMahon rolling off. And someone gets a medical team out here. Braun Strowman shouting down at Shane McMahon. No one tells me what to do. My goodness, now Braun Strowman leaving the lifeless body of Shane McMahon. So I guess we still don't have a Universal Championship match sorted out for Clash of Champions. Shane McMahon was supposed to sort that out tonight. But Braun Strowman once again getting in the way, preventing a decision and attacking the general manager. I can't believe that he would do that. Ridiculous stuff there. Powerbombing Shane McMahon onto the car windscreen. I can tell you that Shane is being seen by medical teams right now, and hopefully we should have an announcement for the Universal Championship match by the end of the night, but I can't guarantee anything for you with the condition that Shane McMahon is in. But I can tell you that this match here, this is a warm-up match for the SmackDown Tag Championship match. Ricochet and Ali, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly and The New Day is going to be what that match is. A triple threat tornado tag team match. Of course, Ricochet and Ali earned that after their dominant victory last week over the Street Profits, and the Undisputed Era, well, it's been their performance as of late. In that 6-man tag at SummerSlam, Kyle O'Reilly managed to pin Roman Reigns in the middle of the ring. An unbelievable performance from the Undisputed Era there, hence why they are getting this opportunity for SmackDown Gold here. Zack Ryder and Kyle Hawkins tried to get into this though. They tried to get this match. Zack Ryder getting that cheeky bulldog and then getting the reversal on Bobby Fish. Zack Ryder had his number in this, but as soon as Kyle Hawkins was tagged in, things really changed around in this match. Kyle Hawkins took a lot of damage and was unable to get back to the tag to Zack Ryder, what he really needed, and it all came down to this high-low, and that was all that was written for Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Undisputed Era picking up a huge victory on their way to Clash of Champions, where they will be facing off against Ricochet and Ali, the new and improved Ricochet and Ali, the more dominant version of them, and The New Day. Seems very interesting who comes out on top in that match. Will The New Day lose their championship gold at last? Or will they manage to hold on to it once more? The odds stacked against them this weekend. But now for our main event, Keith Lee, a man who was looking to get himself back on track here in Universe Mode. He was very disappointed with losing in that 6-man tag at SummerSlam, but he picked up that huge victory against Humberto Carrillo a couple of weeks back, and he is looking to a big victory here tonight, trying to prove that perhaps we don't have a Universal match decided. And wait a second, Daniel Bryan not waiting for things to start, going after Keith Lee straight away in this one. Daniel Bryan running out and attacking Keith Lee early. Like I said, this could be something to say towards that Universal Championship match. We haven't had anything decided yet. Shane McMahon was supposed to make his decision earlier tonight about that Universal Championship match, but after Braun Strowman attacked him, powerbombed him onto the car roof through the windscreen like that, we don't have a decision on that Universal Championship match. And like I said, hopefully Shane will be able to talk to us to give us that decision by the end of the night, but I can't guarantee anything right now. But Keith Lee and Daniel Bryan potentially looking to get themselves into a Universal Championship match here tonight. Daniel Bryan, of course, has had his opportunities before. Daniel Bryan is a man that has had quite a lot of opportunities here in Universe Mode, and he's squandered each and every one of them. He had an opportunity against Seth Rollins to be the inaugural Universal Champion here in Universe Mode. Lost that one. Had the opportunity to beat EC3 at SummerSlam for that Intercontinental Championship. Lost there. And now Daniel Bryan trying to upset Keith Lee here tonight. But that is going to be a difficult one to do. You can't forget about the athleticism and the speed and the strength of Keith Lee. A man that can fly around the ring, be so fast, but yet he is such a big, strong man, and just tossing Bryan over his head like he's nothing. But Bryan, clearly desperate right now. Desperate for some kind of opportunity here in Universe Mode. Otherwise, why would he run out and attack Keith Lee like that? Keith Lee has done nothing wrong to Bryan, and Bryan has done nothing to Keith Lee. These two haven't interacted at all in Universe Mode, really. But tonight it is a big match for these two. Whether or not this gets them into that Universal Championship match or not, or whether this is just about momentum, it is a huge match no matter what. Of course, we will be having Clash of Champions up next week. It will be up on Tuesday. Next week will be the first episode of Clash of Champions. Only a 2 count there for Keith Lee. And we will have the match card going on Sunday. We'll be able to see all the matches going on at Clash of Champions. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. You do not want to miss Clash of Champions. I promise you this. It is going to be a blockbuster event. The first pay-per-view after SummerSlam, and on the road towards Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, and eventually WrestleMania. And you don't want to miss any of that. You don't want to miss any of the action going down. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. But Keith Lee going for that big dive. Daniel Bryan managing to move out of the way. Keith, big chop to the back. But Bryan managing to get out of the way once again. Bryan looking to outspeed Keith Lee right now. Oh, a big lariat from Bryan, taking Keith down to the floor. Down to the mat, I should say. Now Bryan throwing Lee into the ropes, catching him up into the yes lock. But Daniel Bryan, when he threw Keith into the referee got knocked down. Daniel Bryan realised this, gave up on the yes lock. Maybe he would have had the victory there if he hadn't hit the referee by mistake. Daniel Bryan had that yes lock locked in. Keith Lee, it could have been all over just there. It really seemed like it was going to be, but Daniel Bryan giving up on that yes lock because the referee was out cold after Bryan threw Lee accidentally into that referee. Of course, this is all around the Universal Championship. You cannot forget what's going on Monday Night Raw with the WWE Championship right now. Keith Lee, I apologise. It was supposed to be Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. But Kevin Owens this week, the dastardly man, not being able to let go of this rivalry with Sami Zayn. He attacked him, he ambushed him during a promo, hitting him with a stunner, then his hired security, AOP, finishing him with a huge double team move. And then Kevin Owens got the steel chair and broke the leg of Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn no longer able to compete in that championship match. It is now just Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. And we do not know when Sami Zayn will be able to come back from this broken leg that Kevin Owens has given him. And that is going to be one of our main events. Of course, the other main event will be the Universal Championship match, which is yet to be decided. We're still waiting for a response from Shane McMahon after he was powerbombed onto the card by Braun Strowman. Keith Lee now pulling Bryan to his feet. And wait a second. Spirit bomb from Keith Lee to Bryan. Is that enough to put away Daniel Bryan? 1, 2, 3. Keith Lee picking up the huge victory here tonight over Daniel Bryan. Things really not working out for Bryan here in Universe mode. Bryan, he is getting stopped at every turn right now. Losing out on the Universal Championship, losing out on the IC Championship, losing to Keith Lee tonight. Things are not going well for Bryan, and it was all down to that yes lock. I think if he managed to lock it in with the referee up, I think that could have been it, but instead Keith Lee getting the big victory tonight with the Spirit Bomb over Daniel Bryan. Limitless Keith Lee picking up the huge victory, and that is a lot of momentum for Keith Lee. Wait a second, I'm hearing something. Shane McMahon, he is able to give us his announcement. He is able to give us his announcement for the Universal Championship match at Clash of Champions. I can confirm to you right now, it's gonna... Wait a second. Braun Strowman coming out face to face with Keith Lee. These two monsters, two behemoths. Braun not attacking him, just getting in the face of Lee, saying that he's going to see him at Clash of Champions. What does that mean? Well, back to the announcement from Shane McMahon before Braun Strowman interrupted. There's going to be a fatal four-way Falls Count Anywhere match between the Universal Champion Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Keith Lee, and somehow, some reason, Shane McMahon has allowed Braun Strowman to be in this match. Well, we will see you at Clash of Champions. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like the video, and we will see you next time.